Hello, everybody. This is Noah Rosenblatt. I am from Urban Digs, and this is going to be your sixth weekly Manhattan market Corona update. It's crazy times out there. I can't believe it's week 6. We already found out that this no showings order is going to extend to May 15th. So we're going to be doing this a little longer, unfortunately. But let me keep track of what's going on here. The main goal of all of these weekly videos is to basically give you guys some ammunition to have some type of narrative with your buyers and seller clients, as well as to pinpoint weekly trends so we can get an understanding of what's normal in this crazy new world, even though there is no normal, but we try to get some sense of normalcy so that when we get out of it, when we pull out of this whole thing, you have some stories and some data and some consistency in your message to go and confidently tell your clients that we are starting to see activity go in the right direction. That's the whole purpose of this, okay? So let's get right to it. Inventory. We always start with inventory. This has been an inventory problem in this crisis, right? We came into this with about 6,600 listings for sale. 5 weeks ago, it actually came in at 6,582. 4 weeks ago, it was at 62.82. 3 weeks ago, it was at 58.82. 2 weeks ago at 56.04. And last week when I did this, it was at 53.34. Now we're down to 51.31. I have few doubts that we're going to drop below 5,000 on this and go into a 4 handle on this. Clearly, we got another 3-4 weeks of less inventory coming on the market. But the pace is starting to decline. The pace of the supply going off is starting to decline, et cetera, et cetera. So it's slowing, like the drop is slowing. We might be nearing the bottom in terms of where we are. So I'm really curious to see where inventory levels are come May 15th. And hopefully the restrictions get eased, because we could be at 4,500 or 4,400 at that time. We just don't know. But that's going to be one thing. We came into this with a lot of inventory and buyers having options, and we're going to come out of this with much different inventory. And of course, the question is, will all that inventory just come back? And there's two narratives there. One narrative is it's going to come back like a light switch, and all that thousands and thousands of inventory will just come on maybe over 1 or 2 months. And the other narrative is that's going to take many months for that inventory to come on, if at all, because you got sellers that maybe just choose not to sell anymore for whatever reason. Okay. So this is an interesting dynamic to watch. Buyers need to understand they have fewer options. And not only that, but there's not many sellers willing to hit that bid. So they have less options in that sense also. That's why it's a highly illiquid, thinly traded market right now. Okay. Pending sales. This was at 26.50 when we got into the crisis. 4 weeks ago, it went to 26.44. 3 weeks ago, it went to 25.69. 2 weeks ago, it went to 25.49. Last week, it was at 25.23. And this week, it's at 24.79. So we continue to just progressively fall. And I would expect to continue to see that trend pending sales. And that's going to happen just because you don't have the front end coming in. You know, you need a lot of listings in the front end coming in. You need hundreds and hundreds of listings coming in to feed this and maintain these levels in pending sales. And you're not going to have that. Okay. And let me just show you why. So let me show you what's going on with that. We can break down pending sales by looking at monthly contract activity. How many deals were signed in a particular month? And this is a good chart to know because you want to pinpoint what's going on in April and what's normal. So I go to my chart and I click my 3-year button and I click down to April, and I could see over the last 3 years, we're averaging just over 1,000 contracts signed for the month of April. So I have a frame of reference now, an understanding of what's normal and what's typical for the month of April going back 3 years. So now I'm going to toggle to my Urban Digs dashboard where I already have it preset to show me month to date. This is April 1st to April 17th right over here. I use my custom period tool, contract signed. So there was 142 deals signed so far this month. We're already midway through the month, past midway, so I can confidently double this and say that we're probably on par for under 300. We typically get over 1,000. So I can say that contract activity is going to come in about down 70%. Okay, that's how I look at this. Now let me go and do weekly numbers. Okay, weekly numbers. Let's go over here. 1 week actives. 1 week actives. How many listings came on the market? Right. I'm switching my data set here. When I did this 4 weeks ago, let me just do a search. When I did this 4 weeks ago, we were at 138. 138 listings came active. When I did it 3 weeks ago, we're at 80. When I did it 2 weeks ago, we're at 82. And when I did it last week, we're at 70. So this week, we pulled on 73 new listings. Not bad. Good to see it coming back. Ideally, you want to see this number come up. You want to see listings come on the market, okay? You don't want to have an inventory crisis problem. You want to have sellers be willing to sell and put it on the market. So we're going to keep a track of this. It's good that it's not falling more. Maybe it's stabilizing, but we need to see a couple more weeks of this. And I'm curious where it comes in. I think it's going to come in the mid 70s still. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's change this to contract signed. 1 week contract signed. Okay. When I first started doing this 1 week contract signed, it was at 136. Okay. When I did it 3 weeks ago, it was at 74. When I did it 2 weeks ago, it was at 88. I was happy with that number. And when I did it last week, it was at 65. So far this week, 51. So this is a bad number. This is a low number. So far, the lowest contract activity week since we started this crisis. Clearly, we're past the point of residual contract deals that were, kind of in the offer accepted stage before this all started. And it took a few weeks to get the deal through the pipeline and get signed. So this is pure like no showings order kind of deals that are happening right now. And it's coming in low. So clearly we got to keep an eye on this trend. And this is what you want to follow in case it starts rising. All right. This is what you want to see. If it starts getting to 60 and 70 and 80 and 90, that's what you want to go and you want to tell your clients about. Okay. Off market. We're going to end with off market. When I did this 4 weeks ago, we had 424 listings being removed from the market. 3 weeks ago, 409. 2 weeks ago, 270. Last week, 197. And this week, 122. This is a good sign. Okay. Less people are coming off the market. I think there's exhaustion there. I think basically everyone that's wanted to take their listings off the market has taken it off the market for the most part. And now you're getting the new ones coming in, the leftovers kind of thing. You want to see this number go down. This is typically our active season. And this is usually when off market is low and goes down and active inventory and contract signs go up. That's usually what happens. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for off market to go down and we're looking for new active inventory and contract sign to go up. I will continue to do this every week to keep you guys apprised of it. As long as you do me a favor and you listen to it and you share it and you give a shout out maybe to us, I would greatly appreciate it. And you let your clients know of what's going on. At the end of the day, this is all about doing deals and making your clients comfortable transacting in a very abnormal environment. Okay. So until then, stay safe out there, be good. And hopefully we get through this sooner than later. Have a great weekend and I'll catch you next Friday. Bye-bye.